eno ye Extra Media UJ. Subscribe for all updates.
Last Thursday, when we sat in this house, we had a debate on the Copyright and Neighboring Rights Amendment Bill 2025. A debate was done. What was left was harmonization on matters that were contentious, and that was on section 9, clause 9 of the bill. This morning we had the harmonization meeting, and we accordingly harmonized, and we are ready to proceed to that effect. Honorable Lob, Thursday, maybe, not sure, maybe ED, and you're supposed to present the alternative policy statement. So in the circumstance that it may be a public holiday, what do? Can we agree that you will first send the report to the committee, then on the next sitting of Tuesday you'll formally lay for those members to start working? Honorable members, on rather sad note, one of us, Honorable Enos Asimwe of Kabula County, is currently nursing injuries sustained under very unfortunate incidents that happened last weekend. We keep praying for him for faster recovery, and may the good Lord heal him faster. Find time and check on a colleague. Once again, I want to welcome all of you for this sitting. And over the weekend, I had a lot of sentiments out there where people were calling us ignorant. We're ignorant, that's why we're not passing the law. One thing I want to tell the people who were sending messages, we are not ignorant. Whatever we did was for the good of the law. So if somebody is idle and starts sending messages that members are ignorant, please, we are not. Thank you. Yes, Lop.
Thank you, Right Honourable Speaker. Honourable Speaker, I want to join you. I've had you ask us to follow up on a colleague. It's very unfortunate what transpired. Maybe we'll reach out to him to understand the happenings around that and to commiserate with him. Honourable Speaker, you mentioned in your opening remarks, I came following, thanks to technology, that there is statements that have been deferred because these are issues that we had raised, and we were expecting the Minister for Kampala to talk to us about floods and the commitment by government to traders to compensate them, then Chitezi, the commitment by government to compensate those people, which has not happened yet. There was also a statement that we were expecting from the Minister for Justice about the biometric voter verification kits that we spent billions on, and they did not function. I didn't get you clearly, Right Honourable Speaker. Is it all those statements? Is it particular ones? Just so we can know what we are to anticipate, Right Honourable Speaker. And maybe now, and we'll keep loading government with more work because that's their responsibility anyway. As they prepare to bring through those statements, with your indulgence, Right Honourable Speaker, I think that the Minister for Justice, Minister for Internal Affairs, and the Attorney General should also help guide this House further. We make laws in this Parliament, Right Honourable Speaker, but many times these laws are flouted. Article 23 of our Constitution provides for protection of personal liberty. Article 24 of our Constitution, which was made here even before we did come, prohibits cruel and inhuman treatment, but we still see the same continue to happen, Right Honourable Speaker. The mode of arrest, what government calls arrest, which is kidnap, that continues to happen. We don't understand why these things keep happening. And Honourable Speaker, we will not stop to talk about them, especially here, because these laws are made here, and this is the space that we've got to use. Honourable Speaker, last week on Thursday, the home of the personal assistant to the Honourable Kyagulanyi Ssentamu was raided by UPDF officers. UPDF, because they were in uniform, and one of them identified himself with an ID as SFC. They were looking for this gentleman. It's called Naja Sheriff. They didn't find him there. I'm told they were also looking for the Honourable Kyagulanyi. Obviously, he was not there. And they picked up the wife to this gentleman called Natabi Fauzia. That was Thursday last week. The home was left abandoned. The little children, their mother was taken away. Up to now, Honourable Speaker, we don't know where this young lady is. This is wrong. You see, we keep telling government, if you are interested in anybody in this country, the law is at your expansive availability. Do summon people. But when you go and you pick up people, and you don't take them to gazetted detention facilities, it's a problem. And this cuts across. Honourable Speaker, we were here when one of our colleagues, the Honourable Paul Akamba, who belongs to the NRM, was equally abducted. And for days, his family didn't know, lawyers did not know. This is wrong. Forget that it is happening to NUP. It can happen to anybody else, like it happened to the Honourable Paul Akamba. So we must set these standards, because the laws are passed here. If you're interested in somebody, summon them. When they fail to show up, I cannot defend, even as a lawyer, if somebody is summoned and they don't show up, I'll not defend somebody who is picked up when they were summoned and they didn't show up. Because if they summon you and you fail to show up, then they'll come for you somehow. But if somebody has not been summoned at all, you go and you pick them from their home. And for days, nobody knows where they are. Lawyers don't know where to start from. Family doesn't know. It is wrong. And we must stop this behavior, government. If you're interested in people, summon them properly so that they're able to show up. So I hope that the Minister for Internal Affairs, Justice, Attorney General can talk to us as Parliament. These laws, are they irrelevant? That the Constitution has been torpedoed, so it is that means even this Parliament is irrelevant, because this Parliament passes laws. Finally, Right Honourable Speaker, this Parliament here appropriated money to the Electoral Commission for its operations for the just concluded election. We were here, we quarreled, and some of us opposed a number of the allocations, but the majority had the day. We have learned, Honourable Speaker, that police officers who guarded presidential candidates have not gotten their allowances to date. The Deputy IGP was in the Public Affairs Accounts Committee last week, and he said, yes, I've also learned that the people have not been, those officers not been given their allowances, but the Electoral Commission is the one in charge. So can we know from government, good enough Minister of Finance is here, did the Electoral Commission not get all of this money? Because they delivered on their duty, they should be paid. If anything, what we see nowadays is they are being hounded, they are being arrested, they have been dismissed from the police force, specifically those who are guarding the Honourable Kyagulanyi Ssentamu. For what? Doing their job. So you don't give them their allowances, which they are entitled to, then you arrest them, then you're dismissing them from the force. It is wrong. When people have worked, they need to be paid. And that money was passed here, Right Honourable Speaker. So I think it is important that we get to understand from government what happened. Did somebody take this money? Honourable Speaker, allow information from Senior Counsel. And then I'll also mention, because Honourable Speaker, you mentioned that regarding the alternative ministerial policy statements, Honourable Speaker, we are ready to begin laying even tomorrow. That's how effective we are as the opposition. So we request that you put us on the order paper. Tomorrow we shall be here.
That is how effective you have become.
That's how effective we have always been. I mean, last year we were here and we laid in good time, Right Honourable Speaker. And the Hansard can bear us witness. So even this time round, we are ready way ahead of time. So
you have them ready?
Honourable Speaker, kindly put us on the order paper tomorrow. We shall be here. We are very ready. Kindly take the information from Council.
Honourable Attorney General is talking about the arrests of people Could you repeat what you said briefly on the arrest?
Thank you, Right Honourable Speaker. Right Honourable Speaker, I was emphasizing the imperativeness to follow the law in this our country. Attorney General was walking in. He's very well schooled in the law. I quoted Article 23, which provides for protection of personal liberty. I quoted Article 24 of our Constitution, which provides for, which actually inhibits and bars cruel treatment, inhuman treatment, and so on. But we continue to see the same happening, that people continue to be abducted. There's a young lady called Anita. She's wife to the personal assistant of the Honorable Kyagulanyi Ssentamu Robert. The home of this personal assistant was raided by men in UPDF uniform. One of them identified himself as SFC with his ID. They asked for where this gentleman was. He's called Nadia Sheriff Ssenyonyi. The wife said, I'm not too sure where he is right now. And they took the wife. That was Thursday last week. They left the little children unattended too. Up to now, we don't know where this young lady is. And that's what I've been emphasizing. It is wrong.
Okay.
I don't know what the Attorney General is going to explain to us, but these issues are problematic because it can happen to anybody regardless of where you belong. And I have said, if government is interested in anybody, please do issue us summons. And say, Joel Ssenyonyi, we require you tomorrow at this police station at CIID headquarters at 9 a.m. I will be there at 8:30 because I'm a law-abiding citizen. But this business of picking people and then you cannot account for them for days, it is wrong. Okay. And it has to stop because otherwise it's going to eat up.
Okay. Honorable Attorney General, you've heard.
Thank you, Right Honourable Speaker. Right Honourable Speaker, I've heard. I will confer with the Minister of Internal Affairs and find out what the issue is.
Thank you. Honourable Sewungu.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, I want to thank you for your communication, but there's a matter I wanted to address again to this House through you about fire gutting markets. Yesterday, there was another challenge in Kampala. Katwe market was gutted. And we want to know exactly what's happening. Many people are constructing storage buildings in Kampala. Do they have water hydrants? How would you help this challenge? When we had the fire gutting schools, Ministry of Education had a lot of directives on schools having fire extinguishers. And indeed, it has solved some problems. But these people continue crying to government to help them, and we are not getting good information from government. Could we know what is happening in the KCCA? A lot of markets are catching fire, and people are losing a lot of property and money. And what can be done in the instant case? Madam Speaker, as we talk now, owners of these markets are putting back their structures. But what can KCCA do to control fires? And the best solution is placing water hydrants in a number of areas. We need to get a status report.
So you've actually come out with a solution.
Yeah, we will. But
you've come out with a solution. Now that you are the house that does appropriation, so we should budget for that.
Madam Speaker, most obliged, but could we get some report about the challenges we are facing? Even Ginger had the same of recent. I think it was Ginger Market.
I want to refer you to the Sectoral Committee of Presidential Affairs. The challenges that are affecting KCCA are in that report. And if we can be able to address those challenges, then we'll be able to resolve most of these things. But all the same, government, you need to take note. Government, you need to take note of what Honorable Sewungu is talking about.
Thank you, Right Honourable Speaker. Right Honourable Speaker, definitely I'll take this up with KCCA, with the Ministry for Kampala, and ask them to make a report to Parliament.
Appeal. Appeal.
Thank you very much, Madam Speaker. Thank you very much. Madam Speaker, I rise on a matter of national importance concerning a devastating windstorm destruction of classroom blocks, entire classroom blocks at Ototong Primary School over the weekend. That was on the 14th of March this year. That Honourable Speaker, this destruction has left almost 1,300 learners without safe and adequate learning spaces, as the roofs have all been blown off. And our prayer is that government, through the Office of the Prime Minister, provides temporary learning spaces, notably tents or tarpaulins, to ensure that the learners can continue attending school. But also we request for about 400 pieces of iron sheets to re-roof the classroom blocks. I thank you, Right Honourable Speaker.
Thank you. Have you got the disaster report from the district?
Yes, Madam Speaker. I'll submit it to the Office of the Prime Minister. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Government?
Thank you, Right Honourable Speaker. Right Honourable Speaker, I'll follow up with the Honourable Member, obtain this report and ensure that I get it delivered to the Office of the Prime Minister.
Thank you. Next item.
Right Honourable, I didn't want to come back on this issue, but now that the Attorney General is taking note to follow up with KCCA, the matter that's been raised by the Honourable Seungu about fires, I wanted to tether in this element. We saw a breaking of part of Owino Market, St. Bali Kudembe Market. KCCA went there, the leadership, and they said, we have arrested those who were participating in breaking of a part of a building. A short while later, a few days later, KCCA now went back, and they said, these people, they demolished in a not very good way, so let's finish the demolition. That was KCCA itself. They said, now that they didn't demolish properly, so let's now raise down the entire building. And so people have been reaching out to us and saying, do help us. KCCA came and said they have arrested those who were demolishing. Now they came back and they said, let's finish the job. The other ones need to do it very well. I think that the Minister for Kampala needs to tie that into the report that she's going to bring, so that we get clarity. There is a lot of confusion.
Thank you.
Right Honourable, with your permission, allow 30-second information from the Shadow Minister for Kampala and the Kampala Lord Mayor-elect, with your permission.
Thank you, Right Honourable Speaker. I personally visited the site before the demolition at night. And the affected people told me that actually the market master of Owino Market, who represents KCCA, had warned the people and told them to vacate, for they were going to be evicted. And when I called the ED's phone was off, but I later called the deputy ED, who told me they had no arrangement of evicting the vendors because they are chasing off the street the illegal street vendors into the gazetted markets, and therefore they had no reason whatsoever to again evict people from the markets. Unfortunately, that very night, it's when the demolition went on. And sad to say, we lost a life there. Someone died. And I hear now there are 2 that died. So we need a thorough report from the minister. And maybe, Right Honourable Speaker, it would be even much better for you to constitute a committee to investigate into that matter, because it's a serious matter. I called the ED, who later told me that she had actually given a demolition order or permit to the developer. And at first, the developer hasn't known. Everyone was running away from that act. So don't you think, Right Honourable Speaker, you need to constitute a committee of Parliament to investigate into that matter, because it's a serious matter. Very serious.
Honourable members, I am aware that KCCA is appearing before the Committee of Park tomorrow, and most of those issues, most of those issues must be handled by the chair and the committee, and I see a number of committee members of KCCA here. So interrogate KCCA on those matters, and then interrogate KCCA on those matters, and then you will report back. We already have a committee of COSASE handling KCCA, so it will not be good for us to form another committee. Yes, Dennis.
Thank you very much, Right Honourable Speaker. I am raising on a matter of national importance touching our health sector. Right Honourable Speaker, between 2022 to 2025, the graduate nurses and midwives at extension level, to be specific, those that are extending from certificate to diploma and then from diploma to bachelor's, government don't provide funds for their placement. And by virtue of the fact that there were no funds allocated for placement, government waived placement for the said students. But to date, they have not been issued with their practicing licenses. And by law, they cannot practice anywhere in this country. I pray that government expedites the process of coordinating its other organs and release licenses for these Ugandans. Thank you very much.
Dennis, when the budget process and the sector committees are sitting, go to the sector committee of health, bring up that issue, and that issue will be resolved. The next item.
Item 3 on the order page.
Abalungi abatuuliriza era abatulaba olunaku olwaleero tuchaddeko ewa Sheikh Asiraf Dembe.
Sebo sanyusa okubalaba amannya agange nze Sheikh Asiraf Dembe akola ku bizibu by'enjawulo. Omuntu singa aba alina ebirwadde musomereddwa tunywa amazzi ga lukuya nga bw'obadde ogalaba, tugenda abantu ku kyoto ne twokya emizimu emibi egibabaamu n'okulombeddwa. Abantu singa abeera ng'ali wano atuuse sobola okumulombeera edduwa, ne waba atatuuse nga mpadde amannya ge naye ng'ali wala. Neetaase ennamba yange yeeno eri 0701763711. Nammwe bannyinaffe abali ebweru oyagala okuba nti oyagala okulombera ku dduwa ng'olina ebizibu, viza zibuze, amaka gakolongotana, sente zikola zimpita mu ngalo, ojja kumpeereza ekifaananyi kyo n'amannya go, ebyo byokka bijja kummala, nja kukulombera edduwa, ojja kutereera. Olunaku olusembayo mu mwezi mba n'edduwa ey'awamu ffenna n'abalwadde bange abakadde n'abapya. Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.